Right, welcome guys to Skies Above. Welcome to episode 3. Today we'll be doing a comparison video with the Mini 4 Pro and the Mavic 4 Pro. I've got them out here with me today, cameraman. We are here at Fort something, I forgot the name, I'll put it up on the screen right here. We're out here on the fort. It's a pretty cloudy, slightly windy day today. Gusts up to about 9 miles an hour. So this will be a good test for the Mini. Absolutely no issues at all. I'm sure it'll handle very well. But we'll be doing some comparison videos in terms of footage and in terms of how the drones are going to be handling themselves in the air, especially, you know, we're here by the coast and there is quite a lot of headwind heading this way, and we will try and get some cool shots of the fort as well as maybe some boats that are coming in out of here. We have the marina and stuff behind us towards that way into Portsmouth. So there's a few boats coming through here. We'll hopefully get some cool shots, maybe test out some active track. And yeah, we'll get these up in the air. I think we'll do the Mini 4 first. Brought the Mini 4 back down just to change the batteries, but we did some point of interest shots and we took some vertical shooting as well for the format, and we're going to take it back up again, maybe take a few photos and then do a few more vertical shots and maybe try some quick shots out as well, just for comparison with the Mavic and see how that performs with the quick shots. And we did try do some active tracking with the boats and it did work out pretty well with the Mini, so we'll try to do it again with the Mavic 4. And then we'll see how it goes. So enjoy the rest of the clips. Hello guys, we're back here and we have the Mavic 4 Pro up in the air from you saw from the previous clip, and we are going to get some shots of it now just on the fort. We're going to do roughly the same thing as we did with the Mini 4 Pro, just so you guys can get an exact copy of the video and what actually is happening in the air. In terms of handling, this is obviously handling way better in these winds. You know, we're getting gusts up to 10 now, and for sure it's way nicer. So we're gonna go fly it around now and we'll cut to the clips now. See you guys now. We've just landed the Mavic 4 Pro, as you just saw, and I've just found out a completely new thing that like a lot of the active track and the spotlight features don't really work in vertical shooting mode. It says something to do with the gimbal axis. So I might have to play around with that. I'm not sure if you can change that in the settings to get a little bit more wiggle room out of that gimbal in vertical mode. But yeah, I mean, that was really good. It handled really well in the wind, and we got some cool shots, as you guys saw. So we'll do a little talk about what I prefer on the Mini, what I prefer on the Mavic, and then we'll do a little comparison of the two. And you guys saw the videos throughout this one of how they're looking. So we're gonna jump back and get back to editing to see what these videos are really looking like on the laptop. And then we'll get back to you guys once we are in the studio. Right, hello everyone, welcome to the end of the video. Here I'm just going to talk over some of the last clips that I got that I'm just going to post random ones from the Mavic or the Mini, it doesn't really matter. And I'll be doing a side-by-side comparison of what I thought of the drones, and I'm just going to kind of speak over the rest instead of me standing there in the freezing cold. And there was a few things that we learned to do today with these drones and kind of like real world experience of like taking them around and bringing them with us. And I was carrying one, Ewan was carrying one, and we kind of like got our opinions on both. And so I tested these in not extreme conditions, but just enough to make them interesting. And the two drones target very different users. You know, the Mavic 4 is a very high-end professional drone, while the Mini 4 is a lightweight, ultra-portable drone. So it's a little bit more beginner-friendly, so I do appreciate that for myself. And, you know, I wanted to see what those differences actually look like in the real world of flying. Let's start with the physical side. The Mini 4 Pro is ridiculously small. It's what, 250 grams? Like, you can genuinely take it absolutely anywhere and not have to worry, even just with the licenses as well. You know, it can fit in your pocket if you really want to with the carrying cases. It's brilliant. And it's super, super quick to set up. And the Mavic 4, it's a different beast. I mean, it's definitely larger, more professional when you're holding it even, you know, taking apart the arms and all that sort of stuff is very, very different, but you can tell it's built to last. And the extra weight was definitely a little bit more to carry than the Mini, but either one of them weren't too bad for, you know, a short walk down the road or whatever. But for sure, the extra weight helped with the wind. You know, it was a no-brainer. The Mini was getting nudged around a little bit, but the Mavic stayed stable the whole time. Now, flying them both side by side was really interesting. You know, the Mavic, as I said, handled really well in the wind. It felt powerful, controlled, and smooth, and it barely reacted to the gusts. You know, we were there for like up to 10 mile an hour gusts, 9 mile an hour gusts, which is not the worst conditions I've ever flown in, and it definitely handled super, super well. But the Mini 4, considering its size, like, it still performed really, really well. Like, it's nothing to be worried about, in my opinion, but of course somebody else could tell you different. But it was, you know, slightly shifting the wind here and there, especially when flying over the water, and, you know, the gusts were a little bit stronger. But it held itself, and there's nothing really to complain about here. The DJI stabilization system really shines. But if you're flying in regular conditions that are really, really windy, then the Mavic will definitely be your best friend in that situation. When it comes to the camera performances, which is what we kind of were measuring a little bit more, I know I did include some landing videos of how the drones handle themselves, but the main focus of this video was the camera, and you know, it's a clear but not massive difference depending on your needs. Of course, the Mavic 4 Pro has a way larger sensor and more dynamic range, better low light performance, which we didn't really test out too much today, but we'll definitely be looking at that at some point in the future. Colors look more natural and cinematic straight out of the camera. The Mini 4 Pro, on the other hand, produces great footage, like very sharp and vibrant, especially after post, if you guys are recording in D-Log-M. But you do slightly notice a bit of difference when the lighting isn't perfect and you're pushing the shadows and the highlights in the post and you just can't get it right, especially in the M format of the D-Log. But for professional projects or commercial work, I would lean towards the Mavic, and for travel, social media content, quick creative shots, of course the Mini 4 Pro does everything. I know the Mini 5 is out now as well, but if you guys are looking to get it on discount, I'm sure there's a lot of places like Argos here, or even DJI are doing discounts on them. So it's a great pickup. But anyways, guys, that'll be it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed, and make sure to stay tuned for the next stuff. Peace the hell out.